I want to talk about something that confuses a lot of women: feeling hungry all the time, wanting to eat even after you've already eaten, or feeling like you can't tell what real hunger even is anymore. And most women assume that means something is wrong with them. So let me say this right away. If everything feels like hunger, it's not because you lack knowledge or discipline, it's because food has been doing more than feeding you. Most women think I just need to control this. I need more willpower. I should be able to stop. But here's what I see over and over again. Women are very good at ignoring themselves, ignoring hunger and fatigue, ignoring the need for rest or comfort, ignoring the need to just pause. They push through. They finish the task. They take care of everyone else. And often the only thing they consistently give themselves is food, not a break or rest or comfort, just food. So eating becomes the pause. Snacking becomes the comfort. Dessert becomes permission to finally stop. And when food is the only care you allow yourself, everything starts to feel like hunger. Here's where things get really confusing. Many women are told food is the problem. You need to stop emotional overeating. You need to control yourself around food. But food is also the thing that helps you feel better. It gives you some relief, right? It gives comfort and it gives a moment of calm. So you end up in this cycle where you eat and then you feel some relief. But then you feel shame and then you restrict that food and then you start pushing through and then eventually you eat again. And when eating keeps showing up as both the problem and the solution, it's easy to think, I must be hungry all the time. I can't trust my body. I don't even understand it. I don't know what I even need. Everything starts looking like hunger because hunger is the only signal you've been allowed to respond to. This is the distinction that changes everything. Eating needs are physical. Your body needs fuel, energy, nourishment. But emotional needs are things like rest, comfort, relief, connection, safety, permission to stop. When emotional needs aren't being met, food often gets asked to fill the gaps. Not because you're weak, not because you lack discipline, but because your body wants to feel better. Of course, food became a tool. And for a long time, it might have been the only tool. This is something I explain to every woman I coach. Your body is not trying to sabotage you. Your body is built to protect you. It has an internal safety system that will stop at nothing to get your attention. So, when you don't take breaks, when you don't get comfort or connection, when you don't create space for some enjoyment or some creativity, your body finds another way. It ramps up your urges to eat. Why? Because eating guarantees a pause, some comfort, a moment of relief. That is not failure, that is protection. Over time, that protection becomes a learned habit. So now layer in years of dieting. Every woman I've coached has been taught restriction is required to lose weight. Deprivation, normal. Hunger is definitely a part of weight loss. And the more they want to lose weight, the more they think they need to be restricting, deprived, and hungry all the time. They believe they're supposed to be hungry, that hunger means it's working. So when hunger gets loud, they ignore it. And when it gets louder, they feel out of control. No one ever taught them the difference between the whisper of hunger and the alarm of hunger. So here's what I teach instead: you don't wait for hunger to become an emergency, you respond at the whisper. When you eat consistently and earlier, your body learns, hey, she feeds me. She listens to me and I don't have to yell at her anymore. That internal safety system, it kind of begins to relax. And when hunger doesn't need to be loud, urges don't have to be either. So, this week's podcast goes much deeper into this. We talk about why everything starts feeling like hunger, how emotional needs get mistaken for eating needs, why your body ramps up urges to protect you, and how learning the difference makes weight loss calmer and sustainable. If food has felt confusing or exhausting, this episode will help it make sense. If you want help learning how to meet your needs without food being the only option, I walk through this inside my free webinar. It's a calm, supportive place to start if you're tired of fighting yourself. All right, the podcast drops this Friday, and the webinar link is available if you want some support.